Alright guys, I cannot wait to get into this review. Friday the 13th from 1980, the original film is about a group of teenagers who go and stay at a cabin from Camp Crystal Lake, and some of them want to play strip poker. Others want to bone. But boning is a horror sin, so John Kreese has to step in and slash them to pieces. I will say my biggest takeaways from this film were not about the thrills, definitely not about the kills, and most certainly not about the destination, but it was about the journey and the friends that you lost along the way to that unwashed raisin. Is this one of those movies where you guys are just like praising it as like this all-time horror classic? Because if it is, no, I'm sorry. You're actually on something. You have to be. This is not a good movie. It is not a good story. This is quite literally the worst horror movie I've ever seen. And I'm not joking around, dude. This is unwatchable. I don't want to watch this movie ever again. It is so boring and bland and nothing feels like it's important in this film. Like the whole movie is centered around this group of kids. You're not really sure who the main lead is. They're following this one girl who's talking about visiting Camp Crystal Lake, and then she gets killed like 20-30 minutes into the film, so okay, she's not our lead. And then it just brings us to this group that are at the cabin in Camp Crystal Lake, and it's just kind of bouncing back and forth in the group. It doesn't feel like a coherent ensemble cast, and it's not focusing on a main lead. So I automatically am like so lost and not in tune with the film. I don't feel like there's anybody I can connect with, nobody at all. All these characters are unlikable as shit. I think the cast list said Kevin Bacon was one of them. Gee, it would have been nice if he was like the main lead or something. I don't know any of the other ones. I don't know if they went to stardom or whatnot. I really don't recognize any of their names. But I mean, Kevin Bacon, he probably wasn't huge back then, but he's a good looking dude. You could have made him the lead or something, or one of the characters a lead. I wasn't invested in any of them because the movie didn't commit to one person, nor did it pull off the ensemble cast very well. It's yet again another movie about teenagers wanting to bone, and they get punished for it. That's the whole thing to me in the first Halloween. Of course, you get a little more than that. They explore more than just getting slashed because you want to bone on Halloween night in the 2018 film and then Halloween Kills. It's not just about that anymore. Dude, it's literally everything I hate about that 1978 Halloween for an hour and 40 minutes. And I just couldn't believe myself. I couldn't believe that this was made. My opinions are very strong because look, I hear a lot of horror fans hold these franchises to a high standard. Whether or not they want to acknowledge the bad ones or not, that's on them, but you can't escape this. The original Friday the 13th is no good. Look, this movie's 41 years old. I don't give a shit if I spoil it for you. This is just not good. Look, Jason Voorhees is not in the film. It's his mother, Mrs. Voorhees, Pamela Voorhees, who basically just looks like John Kreese. She has been killing the people the whole time. The entire time people were getting killed in the movie, it was in first person, so we didn't know who it was. It was just a mystery. Like, oh, it's all right, that's an interesting way to handle your slasher character for the first film. Very interesting. This must morph into a totally different franchise at some point because this just doesn't feel entertaining. I don't understand how anybody gravitates towards this. In the very beginning, we have this big church group that's singing songs at a campfire, and we got two of them eyeing each other. I'm like, oh, you're about to do something unholy, aren't you? Surely enough, they go into a dark bar and start making out, and the girl's like, oh, what if we get caught? And he's like, don't worry, babe. I'll just turn on all the lights. It's okay. Like, what? You don't want to get caught, but you turn on all the lights in the barn. Like, what? All of the lights in the barn on. At this point of the movie, and I'm only 5 minutes into it, I'm thinking, dude, these slasher characters, they are not the criminals. They're not. They're holy saviors. They're trying to prevent people from having premarital sex. That's what these movies are about. That's what Jason Voorhees and Pamela Voorhees are here to represent and here to stop and prevent. They're heroes. And this movie just proves that they're not in the wrong. I'm just trying to have fun. There's none to be had with this movie. It's just asking to be made fun of. Like, really, it is. Part of the group is playing strip poker because you gotta have your sexy time in your horror movies. And then all of a sudden the game ends. One of them is in all their underwear. They're like, all right, I think we should go to bed now. She grabs a coat, bundles up all her clothes, and walks out to her cabin in the pouring rain. Put your clothes on. You didn't lose the privilege of wearing clothes forever. Just put them back on. It's raining. Why is this character that dumb? Because this stupid movie wants her to die half naked. That's why, because sexy. Then the movie just bullshits its way through a plot, and then Pamela shows up. She interacts with the very last survivor who she hasn't killed yet because she's been killing them. And then she tries to kill her, and then it's just this long slugfest of going place to place about Pamela trying to kill the last girl. And then she finally gets away. I think she killed Pamela at the end of this. And it was so flat, dude. Like, I was kind of hoping to see some Jason here. I had no idea, like, he wasn't gonna pop up, like, at all. I guess there was a little bit of expectation, but not really. I just thought in my head, oh, Jason Voorhees is the hockey mask wearing guy in Friday the 13th. He's probably gonna show up, right? Nah, they just replace him with Sensei Kreese, and it's so uneventful. Plot is garbage, I think, and this movie just goes on too long. It should have been 30 minutes. Like, there's not enough content in this hour and 40-minute movie to exist for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm done. I'm done ranting about it. I've had my fun. I've made my jokes that I've been thinking about for the last week. I'm fine. Guys, let me know down below, have you ever seen the original Friday the 13th from 1980? Look, I'm not trying to badger the director, the producers, maybe the writers. I'm joking. None of the performances, I think they're all fine. It's just, this story was just not there. It was lacking on all levels, and it was just not engaging, and I was just bored out of my mind with this film. So yeah, I'm glad I'm probably just not gonna watch this ever again. And if we get more Jason Voorhees later on in the movies, oh, by the way, he does show up. He like plops out of the water like a freaking unwashed raisin. Just takes the last chick into the water, and then she wakes up in a hospital. So did that happen or not? And she like has a flashback of it maybe happening, but then the flashback is just the still water where it happened, but not really. I don't know. This movie is dumb. Anyways, guys, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Be sure to stick around because we got one more film left in our slate of Halloween movie reviews, and that is the 1984 Wes Craven directed A Nightmare on Elm Street. That's going to be coming on Halloween Day, so you might want to stick around for that. Also, if you haven't yet, be sure to check out the other Halloween reviews that I posted on the channel so far this month. We have Halloween 1978, the 2018 sequel, Halloween Kills, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and now this. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stick around because there is always more to come.